This is Brandon with Third Rate Duelist. We're going to go ahead and do an updated Kozmo Deck Profile for you guys because A, I feel like this build's better for the current meta, and B, Kozmo went to Dark Story went to 2 on the last ban list, so I figured I'd go and do an updated deck profile. Also, I'm taking a minute and apologize to you guys. We haven't really done much of the channel lately because we've all been busy with our work and personal lives, and so we're going to go ahead and start gearing up more towards putting content out for you guys and get right into it. So if you guys could hit that like button and subscribe. And let us know down in the comment sections what you guys think of this next deck profile and what you guys want to see. I'd really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So as I said, this is an updated Kozmo deck profile. And it's more of like a Dark Planet build than the previous build. The last build I did was more of a full force build. I switched to this because I feel like Dark Planet is a really good option against Sky Striker. And the reason being is because Jamming Waves has that secondary effect that if they have 3 or more spells in the graveyard, they can destroy a monster on the field, and that's non-targeting. So that gets around the big ship's effects of they cannot be targeted. So I feel like Dark Planet's a good answer to that because he can negate spell cards by banishing a Kozmo monster from the graveyard. So triple Dark Planet to start off with because this is a card you either play 3 of or none of. You almost want to open multiple copies of this so that way you can just banish one to summon one. But this can be a little bit cloggy at times, but it definitely does pay off in my opinion. And then double Eclipser. So the reason we're still playing 2 of this is for 2 reasons. One, Eclipser and any other Kozmo plays Dark Planet. Secondary, now that Thunder Dragons are out, I feel like the meta is going to start to triangle. And because Thunder Dragon does really well against Sky Striker, and Altergeist does really well against Thunder Dragon. So Eclipser negates trap card effects, which is really good against Altergeist, so that's why it's in here. And then Dark Destroyer went to 2, so we're going to play 2 of it. Again, if this card was at 3, I would play 3 of it. It's definitely the best big ship in the deck. And then 1 Forerunner. I know with the new time rules, Forerunner can be good with gaining 1,000 life in the standby phase, but I just couldn't justify playing 2 of it. Couldn't find the room for it, so it is staying at 1. And then to finish off the ships, still playing triple Slip Rider. 3 of this because Infinity is still a good card, and popping spells and traps is really good, especially on the end phase. You tag out, play Slip Rider, pop something on Sky Striker, or you pop that continuous spell card that lets them reset all their stuff at end phase. So pretty good. And that's the last of the ships. As I said, this is more of a Kozmo beatdown Dark Planet build. So I'm not playing the Dog Fighters because I feel like that card's only good if you're playing Full Force. So we're going to start off the pilots with Double Dark Lady. Still need to play 2 of this in my opinion. 1 of it's not enough because you still need to see it mid-game. So she's still pretty good. And then 1 Wicked Witch still. You need to float down and then make her not undestructible. Still pretty good. And then 2 Sword Trooper because reviving your pilots at a graveyard is good. And then 1 Farm Girl for the OTK. 1 Straw Man to extend. I still don't think you need more than 1 of this. That's just my personal opinion. If you guys want to, you can play 2 of it. I know a lot of people do. Personally, I feel like you only need to see this card once. Because once you banish it, you should bring it back off Kozmo Town. You shouldn't need to do it any more than that. And then the best pilot in the deck is Triple Tin Can. So again, as I said, it's your searcher, best pilot. The only thing that sucks is Tin Can is susceptible to Ash. So even if you tag out to try and get around the Ash will follow. And then to end the high monster count is a double Ogre. So the reason I still chose Ogre over like Ash is because the Ogre, the Kozmo Town play, and I feel like you kind of need that a little bit more in this build in particular, so that way you can Ogre Kozmo Town and search a Dark Planet, then banish Dark Planet, summon Dark Planet. So I still kept this in here. And that's it for monsters. To start spells, triple Kozmo Town still. Why wouldn't you play a Mulligan in the game? And the recursion off of banishing your Kozmo monsters is super good, especially in this Dark Planet build, because Dark Planet and Eclipser are the 2 ships that don't float, they search. So you banish a Dark Planet, search whatever, and then your next turn you pay 1,000 life. Add your Dark Planet back to hand, play Dark Planet again by banishing. Super, super good. And then, because of Kozmo Town, play triple Lure. Again, draw 2, it's pretty much free with the Kozmo Town. Really, really good. And then, really low spell count, we're playing 1 E-Telly. If this card was at 2, I'd be playing 2 of it. If this card was at 3, I'd be playing 3 of it. But sadly, it's at 1. And then 1 Monster Reborn still. So I did cut this build down to 40 cards. It's not 41 anymore. So we'll go ahead and get right into the traps. Start with Triple Call of the Haunted. Again, you're playing tin cans, so you need to play 3 of this. I know one person who watched my previous video asked why if 2 back to the front would be good. Personally, I wouldn't play any more than just a 3 Call of the Haunteds, unless you're playing a Card of Demise build, and then you're obviously playing a lower monster count in that build. So if I was playing Card of Demise, then yes, I would play 2 back to the front. But in this particular build with just the tin can, Call of the Haunted, I feel like is all you really need. And then still playing Triple Torrential Tribute. Reactive traps on your opponent's turn, super good, and then being able to float down off of every ship other than Eclipser and Dark Planet, still really good. So being able to disrupt your opponent and be able to stop them from doing plays is phenomenal. And then I'm still only playing 2 Cosmojo. Couldn't find the room for 3. So, but this card is still super good. As I stated in my last video, these 2 cards as you're out to the extra link. Excuse me. Even though the extra link is something this deck needs to particularly worry about, you just play Dark Planet and just start swinging in for damage. But if you need to out the extra link, this is how you do it. And then the last card is I am main decking 1 Eradicator. So as I said earlier, now that Thunder Dragons are out, I feel like the format is going to triangle with Thunder Dragon, Altergeist, and Sky Striker. And this card just kills 2 of those 3 decks. You just kill Sky Striker with this card, and you just kill Altergeist with this card.
You can call traps with that too, though.
Yeah, Altergeist play mainly traps.
So it hurt all 3 of the triangle.
It doesn't hurt Thunder Dragons very much. They don't need their fusion spell.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't been in the meta game lately.
That's okay, Gary. You've been working a lot. So Thunder Dragons don't really need their fusion spell, as it does help, and it helps them plus, but they don't really need it. So this doesn't really hurt Thunder Dragons a whole lot because they just summon 1 and discard 1 and then pretty well tag out, like Glad Beasts kind of, but better. So, but this still hurts Sky Strikers and Altergeist. So, and we'll go ahead and start with the extra deck. So, as I said in my previous video, if I was to take this to a bigger tournament, I would change my extra deck and my side deck more. So the extra deck's really small with just Infinity and Nova, Gaia Charger and Volk, Shark, and this. If I were to take this to a bigger event, the rest of this would be cherry targets. So like Firewall, Soul Day, Kagari, the Thunder Dragon fusions. Those would be in here with cherries in the side deck. So really just haven't taken this to regional yet, but if I were to, that's what I would change about this. So keep that in mind when you guys are building yours if you want to. That's what I would do personally, but I didn't do it for this profile. And to start off the side deck, this is just generic stuff for like if you were to take this to locals, 1 Effect Veiler and 1 Dark Hole. Dark Hole just have a board wipe. Now that Thunder Dragons are getting big, you can Dark Hole them, force them to try and banish out of graveyard to stop the destruction, and then get in there with DD and pop it. That's the idea behind it. And then Triple Twin Twister, Altergeist, and Sky Striker. I am still citing the Full Force and the 1 Deck Dev because Goki is still a relevant deck in this format, and so Full Force essentially shuts them down, and then Deck Dev gets to any other deck that Full Force doesn't kill. And then because Thunder Dragons are out, Triple D Barrier. Haven't done too much testing with this deck against Thunder Dragons. The fact that they have built-in protection kind of hurts, and the fact that they can just discard the orb out of hand and make it gain 500 attack. The damage step is really good because Titan is 3200, and I don't remember how much attack Colossus is, but you just can't beat over them with Cosmos. So you kind of need a side deck for them. So that's why this is here. And then double red reboot for the Altergeist matchup and Trickstar, so that way they can't reincarnation troll lock you. So that's it for the video, guys. As I said earlier, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me guys what you think of my profile. Let us know what you guys want to see. I'd really appreciate any feedback you give us. Kind of any content ideas I'd appreciate. We're kind of having a hard time coming up with it. We don't want to kind of seem mainstream, like, oh, well, everyone's doing meta-analysis, let's do that. Give us some ideas. We'd really appreciate it. because we want to start generating more content for you guys. So as I said, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you guys want to see. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Later, YouTube.